Good morning, everyone. We will still wait for a few minutes while your friends are joining this session. All right, we can begin. So, this is our first interaction for OODP. Have you had any theory sessions of the subject in this week, in this 2 3 days? Okay. Okay. The first rule over here is that you don't have to type in the chat box. I am not going to look at your chats. I'm going to hear your voices. First thing. Secondly, all right, if you don't have any interaction for the subject, we can begin from scratch. There is no issue. Initially, let me share my screen. Okay. So you already have the experience over the language C. Am I correct? Have you done C in your past semesters? Yes or no? Yes, speak up. Have you done C programming language in your past semesters? Yes, is anybody able to answer? Okay, you haven't done C, then it is difficult to move on to C++. Because in OODP, it is actually object-oriented programming language, and you're going to study the first ever programming language, C++. So, have you studied C, yes or no, in your previous semester?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then it is good. All right. So you already have the base of C, in the sense you already have the base of functions, you have the base of structure, you know how to read from files. File handling was there. Then you already know pointers. Then you know how to create variables, arrays, right? These topics you must have done in the previous semester. Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. 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 Now I am coming to the reason why C got advanced with C++, or why after C++ you have more fully flourished language such as Java, Python, Ruby. Okay, we have PHP. Why after the C++ everything in the world got easier, even when you are trying to code with Android, even when you are trying to code with iOS, why things got easier after C++? Okay, what were the changes made in this, language that it was beneficial for all the languages which developed after C++? And when I'm discussing C++, you must also, be clear in your mind that it is the superset of C, in the sense C is the subset of C++. So any concept that you have learned in C is going to be the subset of C++, and C++ is going to be the advancement or enhancement or a step beyond C. Okay, that is the first thing. And the reason why in the past semester the subject was maybe computer programming, okay, it was simple computer programming. In this semester, this is nothing but your basic C. In this semester, your subject is renamed as object-oriented programming, okay, oriented design and programming, but let us simply focus on programming for now. Okay, object-oriented programming, because you are going to work with objects in this semester. When I am telling you are going to work with objects, what does it mean? Why there was a need of advancing C to C++, and what are the benefits of using C++, and what all features C++ is having, which was not possible, at the time of C. All these things we are going to see in today's session, and I want you to stop doing whatever you are doing, because this is the first interaction, okay, and I want you to listen very attentively, because this is going to create a base for your future programming sessions and for your future theory sessions. All right, now if we talk about your basic C language, then you always start your program with void main or integer main, and you write whatever lines of code you can write here, okay, and this will get executed, right? So you have learned working with functions, am I correct? And you also know how to create your own functions, right? And how to call these functions in your main. Have you worked with user defined functions in your past semester?
Yes, madam, we have worked.
Okay, then it is good. Then you already know how to create your own functions and how to call them up in your, main function. Okay, so C language, and you might have heard this in the initial days of C's also, that it is a procedural language. Okay, procedural programming language in the sense it always follows procedures. Procedures means nothing but functions. So your complete program is nothing but set of either one function or a set of multiple functions, okay, which you are calling from your base function. That is nothing but procedures. So, your C programming language was following a procedural approach for development, while in your C++, I am giving you, when I am talking right now, I am giving you two differences that you have to hear very attentively. The first difference is C versus C++, of course, because why we are using this, the question, if any topic is explained to you anywhere in the world, you must question this three W's, okay? Three W's and one H. You know, what is the reason of this? What is this? Where we have to use it? Why we are using it, okay? And what is it? And how we are using it? If you are able to answer this three W and one H question, it means you got the concept very clear in your mind. So whenever if somebody explaining you the topic, no, make a habit of answering these four questions in your mind. Three W's and one H can get you to the core of that topic. All right. Before moving to using C++, we must understand why we are using it. Okay. And what are all the problems with C which are covered up in C++, so we can feel what are the positives of C++. Now, in C, you have always worked with procedures. You have worked with functions. So, the smallest unit of your program is always a function in your C language. But in C++, the smallest unit is known as an object. Now, the question is, what is an object? Where do we use it? How do we create them? And what is the point of creating object? All right. I am coming to that point with an example. The example I'm giving you here is that the example of creating, say for example, accounting program in the sense you are creating a program in C, which is is having a balance variable inside it, okay, and it is having some initial balance in your account, and you are having the function for withdraw, and you are having the function for deposit, say for example, and you have the function for display. Okay, these all functions you can have in your C program. All right. The moment I run this program, it is going to work only on one instance. Hear my words very carefully. Your program is going to work only on one instance, one person's account, one example account, or maybe one object. In the sense, it is only running for one entity, one identity, one person, because it is working with only one balance. No, if you create another balance variable, it can work with the balance of second person, where you need to withdraw, deposit, and display differently. But you have to create more variables for that. All right. If you wish to create the balance as in the array, it is possible, of course. If you create the balance in the terms of array, you can store multiple records over there. It is possible, definitely. But that balance array is not designated for a particular person, but that balance array would be more generalized. It will not be specific to an individual itself. Okay, are you getting the first, not the problem, but the first point that I'm trying to convey here? The first point I'm trying to convey here is that whenever you are using C, you are always working for a single dependency, single entity, single identity, single person, single object. At the same time, the program is not working for multiple accounts. If I wish my program, in the first run itself, it should accept the details of multiple persons. It should withdraw the amount simultaneously. It should display, deposit everything in the one go. If you wish to do that, is it possible in C? Have you done this in C before? You have to answer, otherwise there is no point of just me telling, just it's a monologue. It is not a monologue, it's a dialogue. Yes, tell me, have you seen this before? Have you done display, withdraw of multiple accounts at the same time in one program in C?
No, madam. Till
Yes.
now, not.
Yes. Now, that's where the picture of C++ comes. What is object in C++? Then I'm going to link that concept with the account example. When I want to create anything, say for example for dogs, I'm creating a simple program for dogs, then I can create objects like pitbull, okay, I can create another object like rottweiler, okay, I can create another object like your labrador, I can create different objects like this, and each object will have its own private personal properties in the sense weight of the dog, then the tail shape or size or anything, then the eye color, okay. And these properties are not only common for all the dogs, these properties belong to actually the unit of dog, because dogs can have all these set of properties, it is true, but the value for each of these property will vary as per the object is varying. In the sense, your Labrador is one object, Rottweiler is one object, Pitbull is one object, and each of these objects will have independent values for these variables that you have created inside a big fat unit known as class. So, if I'm creating a class, the class is dogs, and the instances or the examples or the objects of this class can have independent properties like weight, tail, eye color. Where is it useful? Where is this classification useful? Now imagine your account class. I am creating an account class. The usual variables are balance. Okay. Then the customer name or maybe the customer ID. These are all not similar for all the people. No, it will vary as your account holder is varying. For person one, the property or the value for balance will be different as compared to other person two. The customer ID, the values of these variables will be different. If I'm creating another person over here, I'm creating an account for person two. Then for this person two, the balance will be different. The customer ID for the same person will be different. The name will be different. And if in one program itself, I want to initialize everything, I want to give values to everything, and I am having a set of functions also. In this big fat class, I'm having a set of functions such as deposit, okay, and I'm having a function known as withdraw, and I'm also having a function known as display. Then all these functions are going to be visible in all the three objects because they are just the instances, just the examples of this class account. If you had a class dog, the barking would be one function, okay? Bark is one function. Is he playing with you is one function. All these functions are going to be applicable to all the types of dogs. Now are you getting the object classification? Class is a whole unit which is going to present or prepare the properties for what objects are going to access. So a class can encapsulate or can wrap up like a chocolate. No, your contents of the chocolate are wrapped up in the wrapper. The wrapper is protecting the contents of that, chocolate, right? Without the wrapper, the chocolate is of no use. You have to just throw it away. In the same way, the class is encapsulating, covering up, wrapping up what contents, what should a class contain. If I am creating the account class, then what all properties you should think, logically. Account class ma su avu જોઈએ. What should my account class contain? That all are properties of account class. After properties comes function. What type of functionality or behavior you are expecting from your class account? Well, account should be like person should be able to withdraw the balance. They should be able to update the balance, withdrawing, depositing, and maybe display or print out the passbook. So these are all the functionalities that a class should be giving to you. Okay, the class is complete. Now, without the person's account, the bank stands no point, right? Without people creating the account, the bank is of no use. So the person is coming to you, He wants to create the account. The person will have all the properties which the account class is having, because the person one is just an example, just an instance, just another object of class account. Now, are you clear with the concept of object here, class here? Is it clear? Yes. Please, you have to at least speak yes or no. Do you understand or not? I can read you the whole thing with a different example.
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay. Only two is clear with the concept. Others are still not answering. What about that? What about you, Ravi?
Yes, I'm clear on my side.
Okay. Shita, you can answer it or not having the rights. Okay. So this is the session. No, see, I understand it was not in the session. Are you there? The moment you stop answering, I have to mark your answer, right? Okay. You know what about the depending I'm there in the session? You have to talk. No, you cannot type in the chat box. No, 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 no. Unmute and talk to me, Girav. All right, no, okay. So that is the point of creating objects, because with objects you can handle multiple properties at the same time in a class. Now, in the account example, you understand the use or benefit of creating objects. In the account example, you understand what a class should have. If you have understood this, then I want you to give me the properties of class student. If I wish to create a class student, can you tell me what properties this student class should have? And in English terms, properties means local language variables and behavior. Okay, behaviors, behavior, or you can say what all functionality this should have. In local language, there is nothing but functions. Now tell me, what all properties and behavior this class student should have? Tell me what it should have. You already know this. What do you think a student class should have as a property? As a student, what are the things which are unique to you?
Ma'am,
Yes.
your
Hey,
voice
hey.
is tracking.
Okay. Is everybody able to hear me properly?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking, ma'am. I can't hear properly.
All right.
Yes,
All
madam.
right. Okay. Then I'm going to begin the session again. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, how about now? Are you able to hear me properly?
Now perfect, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
But I am able to hear you everybody properly. Then why? Okay, let me share my screen. No, it's correct only. All right. Is it visible?
Yes, madam.
All right. Now, as okay, did you got the part where I informed you about the account? The account, the account details, the creating of it for the person. Have you understood or not? Tell me.
Your voice is breaking continuously.
Still breaking, ma'am.
Oh,
Ma'am,
yeah.
still breaking your voice.
Just 1 minute. Yeah. Yes. Now are you able to hear my voice properly?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
clear.
All right. So now the topic of account. Did you understood what I explained you with that topic? Yes or no?
Yes, madam. We understood.
Okay, so you had an account and you're creating different objects. That was the first point or the first advantage of C++ over C. Now, if I wish to create a class known as student, tell me what all properties, in layman terms, what all variables you will create in this class, and what will be the behavior or what all functions in our programming terms you will create in this class. Can you tell me?
Ma'am, information of student like name, enrollment number, class,
Yes, you will create name, correct. Enrollment number, correct. Then the class in which he is studying, correct. Good.
lab,
Yes, the lab that he is studying. These all will be variables or functions.
Variables.
Correct, very good. And the functions could be his result. Okay, you can calculate his result based on the marks of subject M1, M2, M3, right? Something like that. Correct. What all grades he has got based on this result, whether he is scoring A, B, or C. These all could be the functions, right? Are we on the correct path? Yes or no?
Yes, madam.
Yes, correct. So now this is the information that you have. And if you wish to create now object, I am creating the first object, Smith. So Smith is one object. Smith is going to have his own name, his own enrollment number, his own class. So Smith is responsible for calling or for assigning values to these variables and for calling these functions. In the same way, if I create another, object, say for example, Raj, then Raj is responsible for initializing these variables and calling these functions independently. So you are actually acquiring different set of memory for every object that you are creating for a particular class. So I'm coming to the main point now. A class can act like a library in C++. If you wish to create a class that is having hardcore functions, that is having to-the-point functions and to-the-point variables, your class can act as library wherein you can create multiple objects and access or initialize those variables with whatever you want to do after that. It is totally up to you, but your class can act as a library when you are creating such strict classes in C++. Now are you getting the first advantage of, if the same program was to be given to you in C, no, then what you would do, you would run the program for 10 times for 10 such person. Is it the correct way? Like that you should do, or you should create multiple objects that could run at the same time? What is the ideal way? Tell me. The
Second.
first, yes, the second one, right? Correct. That is the advantage of using C++, the first advantage. Okay. The next advantage or another feature that got, its position in C++ and it was not there in C is actually qualifying the variables using access specifiers. In the sense, you can qualify a variable or a function with private, public, you have protected with so many access specifiers. In the sense, you are changing the visibility of a variable. How do we create variable in C? Simple like this. If you wish to create a variable in C++, you can qualify that variable with one more additional parameter over here, one more additional keyword over here in front of the declaration, which can allow this variable to be seen everywhere, or it can restrict the use or the visibility of this variable to your program only. Now, tell me, if I'm creating the account, the same program, okay, what all properties do you think should be, private? And what all properties do you think should be, public? These are all the properties, variables. Tell me, what do you think? Account name, can it be private or it could be public? When I'm creating an application with C++, how should I qualify account name as?
Public.
Yes, account name could be public, because if you want to transfer the amount to your friend, you must know what is his account name, right? What about account balance?
Private.
Yes, it should be private. Correct. What about address?
Public, ma'am.
That also.
Yeah, you can even keep it public, you can even keep it dependent on your application, right? Or if you want it to be half open and half closed, in the sense, only the person who are his relatives know, he can access the address.
Protected.
Then you can get, yes, correct, like that only, right? What about email?
Public.
Yes, you can keep it public, correct. Again, you can choose to, manipulate that. But the point I'm trying to convey is such kind of visibility modifiers were not there in in C, which are currently there in C++. So this is providing you a next level of security for your variables. For your functions also, not only your variables. If you dare to create a function, display balance, you can create this function with the qualifier private, so that this function will not be called. You cannot even call that function from anywhere outside the class. So these all kind of restrictions or facilities are given with C++, which were not there in C. Are you clear with the first and second point of advantage in C++, which was not there in C? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Make it. Good. Good. All right. That's it. Then we can start with the first program. The more you will advance in the sessions, the more you will get to know the differences. But make one thing very clear: your C was actually procedure-oriented programming. Your C++ is actually object-oriented programming. And such visibility modifiers were not there. Such access specifiers were not there in C, but they are there in C++. And everything was about functions in C, but everything is about objects and classes in C++, which gives you more advantage not to run your program for 1,000 iterations. Yeah, no, don't run your program for every 1,000% that you want to have the value for. Just create 1,000 object and do your thing. And your class can act like library when you are using C++. It is always advantageous to move on to the next language as compared to C. And all the properties of C++ are already there in Java. So your C++ is just a subset of Java. Java is actually the superset of C++, which you are going to explore in your semester 4th, not right now. All right. So once you know C++, you can advance to Java very quickly and very easily. All right. So far, is anybody having any questions?
Ma'am, this visibility modifiers, they are
Yes.
defining the scope of variable and function. We can just say it simply.
Yes. Yes. They define the scope. Scope in the sense, where do you want the variable to be seen? If you don't want that variable to be seen beyond the scope where you have created that variable, hear my words very carefully. If you don't want that variable to be seen or touched beyond the scope or beyond the point where it is created, make it private. If you make it private, the variable will not be seen, will not be touched, meaning the value will not be accessed. Accessed in the sense seen. And it cannot be touched in the sense you cannot alter the value beyond that point, beyond your class, beyond the scope where you have created, if it is private. Getting it?
Okay, madam.
Yes. All right. Okay. Now, okay, these are the differences we have seen. Okay, but I am coming to the point of programmatical differences now. The difference is, when you are creating a program in C, when you are creating a program in C, you are using printf and scanf, right? And very simply, these functions have been replaced with C in and C out. Okay, they have replaced this with console output. C out in the sense console output, and C in the sense console input. They've replaced these functions with these. And if these functions were there, printf and scanf, they were present in stdio.h, right? Standard input output library in your C. C out and C in, both these operators remind, or both these objects. I am clearing out a point again. They are not functions. No, they are simple objects. You don't need to use this in order to print the value. I'll show you how to print or how to accept it, but they are not functions. They are simple objects. Okay. All right. Another thing, these objects or the variables, they are created or present in a library known as IOStream. So if you want to use cout and cin, you better have to import this. IO stands for input stream, output stream. And actually, inside this IOStream, there are two libraries, OStream and iStream, which are the sub-libraries of your super IOStream. So once you import IOStream, you don't have to worry about importing both of them separately. You can just import IOStream and that will do the trick. All right, for cin and cout both. For input and output, this is the first difference. Another way of using cout and cin is, if you remember your shift operators in your C, if you remember right shift, left shift, it is finding its application here in C++. How? To print something, we simply use double left shift operator. It is to less than sign or left shift operator. You can keep as much as if you want to keep, and you can print whatever you want to print over here. You will simply print everything, whatever you wish to print. And cin can accept the data from user, and you can store it in some variable that you have created initially. And if you have a variable known as marks, you can store the record like this. Another thing, you can always use your /n, /t, all those \character constants, they are not changed over here. It is the same way you are doing it in C also. Another point, I'm conveying the point at the same time. If you wish to club multiple statements, or if you wish to use, or if you wish to print value along with this, your printable statement, you can use this in nesting. Nesting in the sense, you can use as much as these operators that you want for printing whatever that you want. All right, in the same way with scene also, we can at the same time accept multiple records, and for all these acceptance, the cursor is going to wait for you to enter some input when you are running the program. All right, are you getting this? Yes or no? Anybody is having any questions?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
okay. Anybody having any questions so far? All right. And one more last change that I will suggest to you, to always save your file with now C++ extension. Don't save it with .c extension. That is the difference. Now, if you are understanding what I've explained here, let us try the first program. Open your editors. You can open online editors also. You can even open VS Code, Dev C++, Turbo C++, doesn't matter. The editor you are using doesn't matter. Just open your editor and try the first ever Hello World program in your editor. Just print Hello World, that's all. The first question is very simple. Print Hello World in your program, in your editors. Are you getting the question? What you need to do in the first question? What you need to do in the first question?
We need to
Simply
print hello world.
correct. That's it. Once you are done with that, let me know, share your screen, I'll check it, and then we'll move on to the next question. And yes, you may face some errors. If you are facing errors, it is a good sign. Show it to me. I'll help you solve those errors. Errors are always a good sign. It makes you understand things in a more clear and a better way. If you are facing errors, don't hesitate to ask me the questions. Just share your screen. I will help you out. Yes, anybody done with the first question? Please share your screen once you are done.
Ma'am, can I share?
Yes, yes, please go ahead. Share your screen. Okay. Yes, correct. Now, when do you feel the need of adding using namespace std statement? It was not working without that.
Yes, madam. No, we need to, if we don't specify it there, then we need to specify every time in program, in
Yes,
main function.
correct,
So I
correct.
specified it at first only.
Yes, yes, good, good, good. So it is good to know that you already know that. Very nice. Good, good. And you also already are aware of handle, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So good, good, good. Very nice. Anybody else who is done with the program?
Ma'am, can I share?
Yes, yes, please share your screen. Your screen is still not visible. Yes, now I can see your screen. Correct. Good. Did you understand what is this namespace std or not?
Uh, yes, ma'am. It's if I using before a main function, I should I should not use in main because if in every line must I must use std.
Std, yes, yes, yes. That is, yes, correct. Good, good. Very good. Yes, you can stop sharing. Yes, no, no, I got it. No worries. Anybody else who is done with the first question? What about Krins, Priya, Krutik, Harsh? What about you all? Dhirav, Gaurang? Please share your screens.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can I share you the afterwards because my laptop is now busy with my elder daughter. That's why.
Okay. Okay. Fine. No issues. What about others? Yes, Krutik. What about you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing in my laptop.
Okay. Harshita?
Ma'am, I completed, ma'am. Split, I'm sharing this screen.
Okay, okay. No issues. What about Krins? Krins, are you working on the question? Unmute. Unmute yourself, Krins.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, fine. You are working on the question, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For those who have done the first question, the second question is input two numbers from user, integer numbers, and print the summation. That's all is the second question. Okay. Input two numbers, integer numbers from user, and print the summation.
Madam, second program done.
Yes, good, Amit. Om, share your screen. I can only see your cursor. I cannot see the program.
1 minute, madam.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, now I can see. All right. You have entered A and B in one statement itself, and you're printing A plus B. Correct. Good, good, good. Yes, yes. Okay. Who else has done the first question? Yes, Dhirav, what about you? Done with the first question?
Can I share?
Yes, then share your screen if you are done with the first question. Harsh, what about you? Yes, I can see your screen. Okay, you have entered the summation of both the numbers. All right. Yes, correct. Good, good. Yes, Gaurang, what about you?
Doing, ma'am.
Okay. Harshita, what about you?
Ma'am,
Yes, Dhruvin.
can I share the screen?
Yes, yes, please do it.
For first question, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
It's okay.
Yes, first question is correct. Good, good.
I'm doing in mobile right now because laptop is not available. That's why.
Yes, yes, yes. I don't mind. That is okay. As long as you are showing me the screen and you are showing the output, I don't mind which which device you are using.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
correct. No issues.
Okay.
Program is correct.
Can I share, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Please share your screen. Yes. Second question, right? Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Correct. Good, good. Done, done. Very good. All right. So, if you are not facing any challenges in the first and the second question, you can leave the session. But if you are still facing issues with the first and second question, stay in the session, share your screen, and solve your questions. All right. If you are done with the first and second question, you can mention the numbers in the chat box and leave the session. Make sure that you keep practicing such questions at home whenever you get time.
Can I show?
Yes, yes, please share your screen.
Ma'am, actually, I have joined from phone and I'm doing in PC. So,
Okay, just turn your camera and show me your screen of your device. That's all. Yeah. Okay. Yes, got it. First question done. Good, good. Yes, you can leave the session. Mention your numbers in the chat box before you leave the session.
Ma'am, I am also using my laptop offline.
Okay, just turn your camera and show me your screen. Yes. Okay. First question, right? Done. Done, done. Make sure you are practicing the second question at home whenever you get time.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can I switch to the
Yes.
camera?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Uh, yes. The first one and the second one. Both are done, right? Good, good. Yes, yes. Very nice. Then you also can leave the session. Okay. Harsh, Raj, Krutik, Arjubin. I haven't seen your screens yet. Smith, what about you?
यस मैम मैम मेरा लैपटॉप वर्क नहीं कर रहा था इसीलिए मैं अभी ऑनलाइन कर रहा हूँ
ऑनलाइन दिखा दो फोन में कर रहे हो अभी
हाँ फोन में मेरा लैपटॉप ठीक से काम
कोई
नहीं कर
बात
रहा
नहीं
था
फोन में दिखा दो आई डोंट माइंड दैट इज ओके
ओके मैम
शेयर योर
Can
स्क्रीन
I?
just
इट्स
one minute.
विजिबल
Yes, yes, I can see your screen. Okay, okay, done, 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 done. Yes, you
ओके
can
मैम
leave the session, no issues. Yes, who else is left in sharing the screen? Okay. Yes, I can see your screen. Yes, correct. Good, good. Yes, Arju, you can lead the session. Raj, what about you? Krutik?
Ma'am, I just showed my program with camera.
Okay. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I remember. You can lead the session. No issue.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, Krutik, what about you?
Hello,
Krutik?
ma'am. My laptop is lagging too much. I'm just showing in 2 minutes.
Okay. Otherwise, you show me in the next lab session. Don't worry. Go. But make sure that you are done with these two programs before you come to the next lab session. All right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, yes.
I will
Harsh
show in
Karya?
next.
Yes, yes. No worries. Harsh Karya, you also. Make sure you are completing both the programs before you come for the next lab session. Okay? Mr. Karya?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Yes, you also can lead the session. No worries.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Mention your number in the chat box.